What's up, everybody? We're back and we're on video. So this is going to be new. This is our first one, and we're pretty excited. For all of you who aren't aware, you need to listen to our podcast. We've been interviewing some great people, learning new things about them. Had some awesome guys on the show, and we're really excited to interview this next guy. And yeah, we hope you enjoy it. And I'm going to give it away to my brother Zeke, so he can introduce this bearded warrior we're fixing to interview tonight. I hope you all enjoy it.
What's up, guys? So it's nice to be on camera now, and apparently I'm enjoying the view. It might drop at any minute. I don't know. This is just we're testing this. But I'm gonna introduce the guest that we have right now, and obviously now that we're in video, cat's out of the bag. What's up, brother? We got Kyle right here, and his last name just cracks me up, especially because I speak Spanish. So his last name is Kulow. Am I pronouncing that right, brother?
Kulow.
Kulow, perfect.
Kulow,
So,
All right.
right, that's Kulow, but in my country, that means ass. So I'm just loving this. Kyle Kulow, my man, he's hailing from Utah. His beard, as you can see it, about, what do you got there right now, brother?
Well, off the chin, it's about 3 inches from the chin, but I have to keep the sides a little bit trimmed up because I have to wear a respirator. So
Oh, that's right, my man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't get that glorious thickness you guys have because I have to keep it jawline.
Mine is right now it's pure black, dude. I'm pretty sure if I dyed this green, I could get the Golden Gate right on the beard.
Yeah, pretty sure.
So, fun fact about Kyle, and we're gonna talk about this, man. He blows shit up for a living. That's pretty much what he does. So I wanna know the details of that. And you've been told several times that you look like James Hetfield. Let me see that.
Yeah, so when I
Maybe
have
James
just
Hetfield face.
when I have just the goatee, just this part here, and I posted it on my Instagram like a side by side kind of comparison. I've heard it so many times, and every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, you're full of shit. But
come on, man.
yeah,
I can kind of see that.
yeah.
Got the rocker
yeah.
there. Loving the shirt, by the way, man. That's some
Like
badass
that?
coffee. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Representing our veteran-owned businesses.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. I love their brand.
Great guys.
That's
Yeah, they
fantastic.
started here in Utah, matter of fact.
Well, I got other side, dude. I'm mirrored. I got my grunt style there.
Yeah.
So, what you got, Nike? My boy, man. He had to bring
got
the guns
Nike.
out. Do you see what I'm talking about? Every fucking time. There you go.
Right on. Yep.
Yes, sir. Love it, brother. Love it. All right, man. So cool, man. Do you have any questions for us? Anything you want to tell the audience before we start shooting those questions your way?
No, I'm excited to be here and love your guys' podcast, and all the other guys you've had on have been great. So, I'm excited to kick off the video part of it. So I hope I don't make an ass out of myself.
Oh, we'll help you with that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry.
Yeah, we'll help you there. I'm just excited to be in video with you guys because I feel like that's kind of the next step, right? To be able to have that connection, especially nowadays that, guys, I've been 2 months in quarantine, going nuts here.
Crazy.
So I'm gonna give it back to you, DK. Kick it off with those questions, brother.
Yeah, I'm going to kick it off, and our show is called Warrior Behind the Beard, so I've got to start it with the beard. What made you want to grow it in the first place?
So my dad growing up, I don't know if you guys remember a show called Grizzly Adams. There's this guy named Dan Haggerty, and he was the star of the show. He was a mountain man. Well, my dad was a coal miner, and he literally had a beard that was huge. And he was a big guy, he's 6'3", probably about 260, big coal miner guy. And growing up, I always thought one day I want a beard like that. Well, unfortunately, I didn't get that gene to grow that beastly of a beard like he had. So just always wanted a beard, and as we'll get into my law enforcement career, obviously I couldn't have a beard until I went into the drug task force, and I was able to grow a beard to go undercover and stuff like that. And that's when I really got the taste for having a beard. And through the years, different jobs, I've had to shave it and grow it back. But now where I've landed now, I'm good, and I don't want to shave it again. And I'm pretty sure my girlfriend's not gonna let me shave it again either. So.
Oh, there you go.
Win-win. Yeah, she's like, yeah, I can't go. You got to keep it.
There you go, man. If she's behind it, that's perfect.
Yeah, I'm not gonna complain. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So brother.
So it started with my dad. Like I said, he just had this beastly mountain man beard, and he was grew up in the hunting, fishing, doing all that, just typical what you would envision of a mountain man looking like. And
yeah,
right. So that was just him. It's just beastly beard.
Yeah. So
that's awesome, brother.
That started.
That's really cool. Little daddy issues here with Kyle. With the beard. So, dude, you mentioned we're in law enforcement. So, usually when that's the case, that's pretty much what you wanted to be. You don't just land on law enforcement. So, I usually ask, what did you want it to be when you grew up? But obviously, if you ended up in law enforcement, I imagine that's where you wanted to be when you grew up. But what made you want that?
So, and I'm not gonna lie, growing up in high school and stuff, I partied and did things like that. But I did always know I wanted to go into law enforcement. Just a brief background on my family. I have family members that have battled addiction and things like that, and so it probably sounds corny, but I always thought that I wanted to go into law enforcement. I didn't want to go down the path they went. I wanted to go the other way and maybe, help the community and not take from the community. So just always wanted to do it. Growing up as a kid, you watch the shows, and I used to watch the old SWAT show on TV when I was a kid and get all pumped up on that shit. So wanted to do it. And when I was 24, I went into law enforcement.
That's great, brother.
So you went to law enforcement at 24. Was that your first job ever?
No. So my first job was in high school, and I was 16, and I worked at a J.C. Penney's.
Ooh,
okay.
Yeah, so I did that, did the little retail thing young, and started off working different. They just kind of shuffled me around the departments, and just kind of went from there.
What was your favorite task there?
What's that?
What was your favorite? Sorry. No, go ahead. What was your favorite task there? Like at J.C. Penney's, what was your experience there as a high school guy, right out of high school there?
Well, as a high school guy, of course, your hormones are kicked in, and a lot of women come in and out of the J.C. Penney store. So that was kind of a benefit for me at 16 to 18 years old when I worked there. But it sounds pretty funny. The funnest part was during Christmas time when they put me in the wrapping department. So, it was glorious. So
what a shit show.
Let me tell you. So the older women there taught me how to wrap presents. I kind of knew from my mom growing up and stuff. I already knew how to wrap. They taught me how to do all the fancy shit. So these women would come up with their armfuls of bags, and they'd want to pay to have things wrapped. Well, I'd go over there and like, okay, well, what do you want? What size? And they would look at me like, okay, Junior, can one of those ladies over there come and help me? And they'd literally get pissed, like, you're not going to wrap my presents. I'm like, look, just give me a shot. You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Because all these women already taught me, but they would be like so flabbergasted that this young punk is going to try to wrap my presents. It gave me great joy to do that, and watch the look on their face when I got done, and they're like, holy shit.
Hold on. Yeah, he can do it. He's a badass.
Yeah.
Right, but what I want to know is why were they so like flabbergasted about it? What was the look, man? Describe yourself right there when you were working at that gift wrapping stand.
Well, first off, it was the 80s, and I had a mullet.
Yes.
So, I was the rocker kid and all that, but they would literally walk up, put their presents down, and they would just get this like, you're going to wrap my presents. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, really.
Priceless, dude. Dude with the party in the back
so I
there.
would do this look. So the other women would be over at the other counter because it was where the catalog of orders came in, and I just look over at them, and they just smile and they look at the ladies and give them the. He's all right.
Yeah, like
He's
go
got.
ahead.
Yeah, give him the little. He's all right.
The blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. He can do it.
That's funny.
But yeah, Price. It's not the most manly thing to admit to, but man, the look on their face before and after was just glorious to me. I was like, yeah. Now take your shit and get home.
Yeah.
Go put your spice.
Well, you said you've been in law enforcement for a long time. What has been your favorite part of law enforcement? What was your favorite either station or what you were doing at the time?
So I really liked when I promoted up to. There's a couple things, but when I promoted to patrol sergeant, I really liked being able to share what I had learned over all my years with my crew. So teaching those guys how to be better cops and things like that. But I really enjoyed SWAT and drug task force. Those were two big highlights for me, and just really good time.
Yeah, I bet you were blown and going.
Oh man, yeah. And luckily, I didn't work in like a huge city. I worked in a little town, but we deal with everything the big cities do, just not on the same scale as they do. But yeah, it was fun. You would be surprised what goes on in small towns. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I bet, dude. I watched the Tiger King, so. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, God.
Hey, I'll tell you what's funny is when that all came out, the county that is about an hour away from us, there used to be a guy that rode around with a lion,
No.
a lion in the back of his truck, and he would take it down to the local like little Dairy Queen and buy it an ice cream and all this shit. Well, he got messed up on meth, ended up like taking dynamite and blowing two of his workers up.
God dang, man.
Yeah,
Small town.
I saw it come out, and I'm like, fuck, we had that guy back in the 90s.
Yeah. Kyle's like, I've already seen that guy. He was here.
Yeah. There's actually like an A&E documentary about this dude out there. So, yeah.
So all right, that's already kind of a funny insane story there. But I bet you have a lot of stories from your time in the force, or maybe any other job that you've had. What was the funniest story that you can think at work?
So, like I said, I was in drug task force, and I promoted to patrol sergeant out of drug task force. And I check on duty. So we always checked on duty at our house. Then you had to, within a certain amount of time, you had to report to the sheriff's office, to get briefed on what had happened through the day, what we need to do for the night, things like that. Well, as soon as I check on, I get a call from my captain. He says, I need you to respond to the sheriff's office immediately. We have something we need to go do. I'm thinking, oh, shit. Okay. So I'm thinking, it's got to be something to do with my sergeant duties and fill me in on stuff, whatever. So I show up at the sheriff's office, and I'm met by my captain and my lieutenant and our civil service guy. And the captain tells me, he's like, we need to go evict this guy out of his house. His wife got a protective order on him for domestic assault. We need to remove him from the house and give her custody of the house, because that's what the judge had awarded her in the document. So I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. So in my mind, I'm thinking, you guys have had this for like 3 hours. Why are you waiting for me to come on shift? But whatever. So we go to the house, knock on the door. The guy doesn't want to let us in, and he tries to slam the door. My captain pushes the door open. Well, the guy beelines it for the back bedroom, and we knew he had guns in the house. And that's exactly where he was headed. He's headed to the back bedroom to try to get to his guns.
Jeez.
Well, my captain's able to tackle him, and they're wrestling around on the bedroom floor. And I come up behind my captain, and my captain's yelling for me to tase him. So I hurry and draw my taser, tase the guy. We get him under control. Captain and lieutenant pick him up, because I keep the leads in the guy in case because he's combative. He's still not, he's pissed, he's handcuffed, he's still trying to struggle.
Yeah.
Anyways, escort him out of the house. We're taking him in my patrol car. I hurry and open the door to the back. My lieutenant takes him and he spins him. So when a guy's handcuffed, you want to put their ass on the seat first, then you kind of shove their legs in. Well, as soon
I,
as this
I, I
guy's
haven't handcuffed many guys in my lifetime, so I'm gonna have to take your word for this.
yeah, so that's, we don't just run up and throw him in the car. So we set his ass on the seat, and as soon as he sits, he kicks my lieutenant square in the balls,
Oh.
drops my lieutenant. But as he's falling to the ground, he's screaming, light him up, which that means tase him again, because he's starting to get combative again. So I pull the trigger, we'll tase him again, and he goes straight as a board. I grab his feet, push him in the back of the car, shut the door. Of course, everyone in the neighborhood is standing around watching this shit show that we got going on. So me and my captain have to pick my lieutenant up off the ground because he got his nuts stuffed in. And
God.
yeah,
That's pretty good.
oh yeah, it was. And I'm telling you, like, this is the first hour of me being a sergeant, and my lieutenant gets up, and he always called me Murphy, because if weird shit was going to happen, it was when I was on shift.
So they were basically waiting for you there to get that done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you could have done this like 2-3 hours ago. Why wait for me? But
yeah.
the best part of it all, I guess, was a little karma payback for my lieutenant. We take the guy to the hospital, because at that time you had to take him to the hospital to get the probes pulled out from the taser.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when I shot the guy, I had hit him directly in the nipple with and the other one right in his hip. So when the doctor's trying to pull the probe out of his nipple, it's like a piece of taffy. I mean, and he's like trying to tug it, and his nipple's stretching out, and he's and you can see my lieutenant over there like, yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, get it.
Yeah, your lieutenant is like the bag of eyes on his balls.
Yeah. My lieutenant's probably like, I wish that other probe would have got your nut. But so anyways, I've got tons. It's one of those things you could sit around and go on forever. But that's one that I never forget, because I just, my first hours of patrol sergeant, I'm like, God damn.
That's a pretty good story to kick it off on. Well, during your law enforcement stint, did you ever have any buddies or any mentors that really stuck out in your mind, that really stuck with you, showed you the ropes?
God, I actually, it's speaking on law enforcement. When I first was thinking about that question, just immediately I thought back to my days at JCPenney's and the guy that taught me things there. But in law enforcement, I was lucky coming up that I was that younger guy that wanted to get the knowledge from the older cops, the guys that had been around. And
right.
And there's two. My lieutenant was one of them. Super good guy, taught me a lot. And there was another one. So I was with the sheriff's department, and this guy was a Tri-City cop, and he taught me a lot. He always told me, you use what's between your ears and that thing that God gave you called a mouth to de-escalate a situation. He goes, if you can talk a combative man into handcuffs, he goes, you're the badass. He goes, because if you could convince a guy to put them handcuffs on without having to get physical with them, he goes, you've got all the respect in the world for me. And everybody respected this guy. Every cop, the citizens, he was just such a good dude. But yeah, wow. I'll never forget that guy. And he was, like I said, he was a city cop, and I was with the sheriff's department. So there's always, those rivalries and pissing matches, departments and whatever. But man, this dude just took me under his wing, but he knew too. I wasn't a young cocky punk. I was smart enough to realize that this guy's lasted as long as he has for a reason. So.
Well, I mean, it's a healthy attitude to go with the fact that you just decided to learn from this guy that had a lot of experience and just think that you know everything right out of the academy, right?
Yeah, and you would listen to this guy talk to people. He was respectful, and if people were shitty with him, it would take a lot for them to trigger him to get shitty. But he was that guy that people would be up here raging, and he'd just stay right here. And pretty soon they come down, and you're like, God damn, is this Yoda? This guy is good.
Awesome. Had a gift.
Oh, he did too. But
so, So let's take it back a little bit to before this whole thing. Like growing up, what were some of your favorite activities? And I want you to kind of tie that into today, because like I said in the previous show, men don't grow up; our toys just get more expensive. So, what were activities that you enjoyed before as a kid, as a youngster, that you're enjoying now, and the time between those?
So growing up, I was big into sports and hunting and fishing. Like I said, my dad was just a huge outdoorsman. He actually played AAA baseball for, at the time, the Milwaukee Braves that became the Atlanta Braves. He was a pitcher for him. So, sports was a thing that you were going to do. So I was a big into baseball, basketball, football, hunting, fishing. My favorite hunting sport was bow hunting, because to me that was the biggest challenge.
You're talking DK's language right now, man.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Hold on, where are you, DK? No, this side.
Oh, you bow hunter?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, to me, man, the sneaking and the stalking, and you had to get up close. I can't 800 yards when you're a kid. I wanna the thrill of the hunt and sneak up on them. And
yeah,
if I could have jumped out of a tree and slit a throat, that would have been the shit. When I was a kid, you watch all those movies, and you're like, oh God, if I could. But yeah, for me, bow hunting was the biggest thing, because to me that was the closest thing to the biggest challenge for me was that stalking and having to be quiet. And of course, when you're a kid, your dad's yelling at you. You step on a twig that you could barely hear it, and he's like, "Shut the fuck up!
Quit it!"
Yeah, yeah. But it was a wet green leaf, but I heard it.
It didn't make any noise.
Yeah, he's like, if I can hear it, they can hear it. So
yeah.
And then so I was big into like riding dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and 3-wheelers and all that shit.
See, now you're talking my language. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So as I grew up, I still love to go fishing and stuff like that. Kind of faded away from hunting, because I don't know down in your state, but here in Utah, they messed with the laws. And when I was a kid, you just go down and buy a tag over the counter. Now you have to draw out for a tag, and it's like a lottery system. And
oh, that's what you were explaining to me yesterday, right, DK?
Yeah, it's the same here in New Mexico. We all have to put in for the draw.
Yeah, see, and they started doing all that, and I was like, God damn. And it's like, it's $50 to draw, then you got to go buy your tag. And I'm like, so it kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. And I never obviously lost my love for firearms and shooting and all that. So as I transitioned into my adulthood and with law enforcement, and I was involved in so many things in law enforcement, my hunting kind of took a backseat to all the new things that I got involved with dive rescue and hazmat teams and all this, just search and rescue. So that kind of started to monopolize my time. But then my relaxation became riding Harleys. So my motorcycle, so my motorcycle riding from my kid years on dirt bikes transitioned into Harleys, and like you said, then the price goes up, and
oh yeah.
So now I'm a diehard Harley guy. I go to Sturgis this year for the 80th. It'll be my 8th time up.
Dude, I need to go to that.
Oh yeah, it is Disneyland for adults, and I'll tell you what, you will meet the coolest people from around the world. I've met a few people like our boy Mitch from over in the UK, from Germany, Australia, Canada. Of
Wait,
course,
you met Mitch over there?
No, I met people from like the UK, like Mitch.
Oh! I was like, damn, you serious?
Oh, no. No.
That big guy's going around. So what are you right now?
So right now I have a 2010 Softail Deluxe that has a little work done to it. So.
That's my thing. I like Softails, man. My back is thankful for that.
Yeah, I had a Road King prior to this. Loved my Road King, but I got this one. It had been worked over pretty good with. It's got an oversized cam, big bore kit in it, and it gets down the road. So
yeah, I sit in a 2012 Fat Boy right now.
All right on.
Freaking love it, man. Softails are a cloud to ride on.
Yep. Yeah, my first one was a Dyna Super Glide Custom. So
They don't make those anymore.
no,
Well,
no. So yeah, so I'm always going to be a big kid. My body might start to wither away, but my mind, I'm still that young kid that's out
yeah.
wanting to fuck around on toys and guns. Diehard gun guy still. You know, I love to go out and shoot, and I love to teach people the things that I learned from my law enforcement career and being on SWAT. So I don't hunt, and I still fish. Love to be out in the mountains. Love to be in the mountains. Don't hunt anymore like I used to, just because of the way that they mess with the laws and how you have to get your tags and stuff like that. I just done with it. So
yeah. Well, I was going to ask you. You gave us a funny story whenever you were in law enforcement, but I want to hear a funny story that you can tell us growing up during your childhood.
Man, I'll tell you what. You guys ever want to show my parents? My parents could have like their own sitcom. I'm not even shitting. So one of the best stories is, and thank God this isn't a family-friendly show, because this is a story that it mortified me at the time, but it's like legendary in the community we come from and through our family. Everybody loves to hear this story. So we're walking down Main Street in our town one day, and my dad keeps grabbing my mom's butt, keeps like reaching over, grabbing her boob, like playing with her. And we're walking down the street, and I'm 10 years old. And I'm like mortified, because, you know, when you're a young kid, you're kind of embarrassed.
Yeah.
And my dad was kind of loud and, very animated individual, but, and him and my mom would banter back and forth. They always had this just crazy shit that they would do back and forth. We're walking down the street. My mom tells him, "You grab my tits one more time in front of the kid, I'm dragging you across Main Street by your balls."
Oh,
okay.
So my dad, which I never understood.
You gotta call that bluff. I mean,
this is the thing. This dumb motherfucker should have known. She is Italian. She's a 5'10" Italian woman who's never, ever threatened you and not followed through with it.
No.
So we get to...
You got to do it.
Corner, we get to the stoplight, getting ready to cross the street at the crosswalk, and the dumb fucker grabs her tit. So what does she do? At the time, he had those little softball shorts on that guys wore back in like the 80s.
Yeah.
She reaches up in the leg, grabs a hold of his junk, and tiptoes him across Main Street.
Yes.
And I'm not even joking. Like I said, this is like legendary story in our town. Cars are at the intersection honking their horn, and my dad is on his tiptoes, and he had a nickname for my mom called Buns. And his face is beat red, and my dad has this big burly voice, and he's like, "Buns, Buns, Buns," tiptoeing across the street.
And he's yelling Buns.
He looked like Fred Flintstone bowling on his tiptoes.
Yeah, across.
Yeah. And we get to the other side, and she lets go, and he let out the biggest, "Oh, can't believe you did that." Yeah, he's like, "I can't believe you did that." And she's like, "What did I tell you?"
Yeah, I told you.
She keeps her promises. Come on.
My whole life, things like that happen with those two. But man,
bro, that knocks the wind out of you. That's terrible.
Yeah. And it's not in the privacy of your own home. It's right there.
Oh, Jesus, man.
And cars up and down the goddamn street.
I don't think women understand the sensitivity of what we're talking about here. When they say, "What you gonna do if a guy comes and grabs you?" "Oh, kick him in the balls." Like, there's no need for kicking. You just flick him.
Yeah.
Just flick him, dude. Just drop to the floor. Why go for the permanent damage?
You could walk outside and catch a stiff breeze, and it might.
Yeah. Is it raining too hard? Hit you in the wrong spot. Done, dude.
Yeah.
On the floor.
But but so anyways, that is a story that obviously I will take to my grave, because, and I was mortified. Oh my God, as a 10-year-old kid, I was mortified that, oh, my parents, what are you doing? But now I'm thinking like, yeah, my whole life you've done that, you dumbass. Like,
they had a good, man. They had a good relationship.
Probably not the story you were thinking you were going to get, but
I
that's a
love
story.
That was perfect. I love it.
I'd take any story, man.
Yeah.
So, brother, we've seen you on your Instagram with your old lady. Are you married?
No, we're engaged. Hopefully.
Okay.
Well, you know, the way 2020 is going, we might have to put it off. This year might be a little bit jinxed.
Shit,
so.
man, are you sure you want to get married this year?
That's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
That's up. So we were thinking of actually getting married on the stage at the Buffalo Chip this year, but with
I have no idea what that is.
You want to go to Sturgis? You don't know what the Buffalo Chip is?
Yeah, dude, I'm also from halfway across the world, so
judge
me all you want.
You got to look it up. That's where it's the biggest party in Sturgis. It's where all the big concerts are. The best.
Fuck, I've never been, man. Don't rub it in.
Well, I'm just telling you. Look it up. You'll want to go there. So.
I want to go. I want to go so bad, man. Honestly, I've never had vacation time during that time. That's always been my main issue with going over there, because it's not a weekend trip, dude. You gotta take your time. You gotta ride over there. I mean, I'm not gonna take a plane over there, you know. You got. How did you get here? Well, airport? No.
Well, you do. You have to ride. The first time you go to Sturgis, you have to ride. You're what, 3 states away? I'm in
Washington. I'm in Western Washington.
Oh, so
I'm in San Francisco.
You know what? There's guys that ride their bikes from Florida, from Texas. You got it.
Oh yeah, I'm game, dude. I want to do it. I'm 100% want to do it. It just need to be the perfect storm with the time. And I know I'm not gonna have any vacation now because I had to blow them all on this Corona thing.
Yeah,
so,
I got you on that.
I don't know if this is gonna be the year.
I've never asked you. Do you have any children?
I do. I have 3 daughters.
Really?
Yeah. I've got 3 adult.
That must have been fun.
How was that?
Well, I'll tell you this. I was first off, I laid it out for my daughters. Look, when I was in high school, I was like the class clown. I partied. You know, I didn't do what my parents told me to do, like study and get good grades and all that. I wanted to party and clown. So my daughters all got good grades. They didn't party. They didn't none of that. But they are 3 very beautiful girls. So I had to deal with all the guys, you know. Yeah. My daughters were good though. They knew, and they always told the guy, "You have to meet my dad before I can date you." So
cleaning the guns on the right time, right on the table.
I'm trying to feel you out because I just have 1, so I'm not even ready to deal with that with the 1, let alone 3.
Yeah, boy, but you got 2 boys that are gonna be taking care of her.
Yeah, she's got 2 older brothers.
They're gonna be lining up the load for you.
I'm gonna warn you. This is they go from wanting to play with dolls and being cute little girls like that in a day. They're boys. I'm like, wait, what happened? Like yesterday.
Where was it?
Yesterday you were tucking your little baby into her crib, and now you're over here. What happened?
Right? I like that.
And I'm not kidding. It is like overnight. That shit goes out the window, and it's to the boys. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But I have, like I said, luckily 3 amazing daughters, and they knew. Matter of fact, my middle daughter, Kylie, she wanted to introduce her like first love, her first boyfriend to me. Well, it just so happens she brings him to my house, and I am have my daughters with their mom. I'm divorced from their mom, obviously. And so they come to she brings them to my house. I just happen to be getting ready to go to SWAT training. So I'm in my
yes.
I was really good. I was in really good shape, worked out, lifted weight. Yeah. So I was nice, and I've got my BDUs on. I got my thigh rig on. We've got my tight undershirt on for when I get down there to put my other gear on. And I open up the door, and his eye, he literally did like you'd see in a movie like that, and just like looks up at me. And he just sits there and stares at me, and he's like, "Oh, Kylie said you was in good shape, but I didn't realize that." And anyways, so he did. He's just like a deer in a headlight. And I bring him in. I tell him, "Hey, let me tell you something. You hurt her, there's consequences. You treat my daughter right, because I'm not the only one wearing all this.
Yeah, I got a whole brotherhood
behind her. She's their little girl too. So she grew up with these guys." So
do you remember that movie Bad Boys? What is it? The second one? He does the whole thing on him.
Yeah. Or like Den of Thieves. I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah. They take him to the
garage. The kid in the garage, and all them big muscle heads are in there. Except for we all are slung with guns and shit. And they're like,
shit. That's priceless, dude. That is priceless.
And they were, in each one of them, they knew like, oh shit, Dad's a cop, so now they're all going to be watching us.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So man, so you mentioned you were divorced. You're divorced. You have 3 girls. What do you think, in your opinion, has been your biggest struggle as a family across your life?
Getting divorced and trying to keep the same connection with my daughters has been hard through the years, because obviously they lived with their mom, and then I was the weekend dad. So it was always trying to keep that balance, and it's still even into adulthood. You're still trying to find that balance, because they'll always be closer to their mom, I feel, because of they were with her more. So It's been kind of an interesting, I call it the dance, like trying to figure out, like make sure they know how much I love them, and just, whatever happened in the past, that was between me and their mom, and their mom's been a great mom. I'll never talk bad about her or anything like that, and I've always been really respectful towards everything with my daughters when it pertains to their mom and stuff. But it's just always been one of those hard things, try to, I'm only get them every other weekend thing. And so to me, that's probably been one of my biggest struggles, is to make sure that I try and keep that a strong relationship with my daughters in the wake of a divorce.
Makes sense.
And they're adults, now.
Yeah.
That happened when they were little.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm ready for you to embarrass your daughters. You have full reign here if you want, because I want to hear. I'm getting the funny stories from you. So I've got the cop story. I've got your dad's story. Now I want to hear a funny story involving you and your daughters.
Oh God, me and my daughters.
Yeah, or it can be any time in their childhood, any funny story you can think of. But if you want a moment, like, this is your golden opportunity.
So this, and maybe to me it's funny just the way they brought it up. So through my life, I've dated different women and things like that. And so me and my daughters are sitting down one day, and they asked me, "How do you keep getting these beautiful women to date you?" And I wished I could have had the recording of the look on my face. I sat back
like thanks.
Well, no, I'm thinking, fuck, am I Shrek? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not, fucking Thor or nothing, but I'm thinking, what? And I am. I'm sitting here looking at my daughters, thinking, and we're having lunch. I'm like, what in the fuck even brought this up? And they're older, like they're in college, and I'm thinking.
And it wasn't even rhetorical. She was actually waiting for an answer.
Yeah. And this isn't like a fall down ha-ha story, but to me, I'm like, what in the how do you keep getting these beautiful women? And I after a minute I just started laughing. I'm sitting there thinking like, Jesus Christ, like your mom, she's a beautiful woman. I mean,
Yeah.
did you ever ask her like, how did you end up with the odor over here? Or
No, that's pretty good.
I'm like, yeah. And that's so, and like when I told my current girlfriend that, she just thinks that she laughs. She thinks it's pretty funny. So
That is funny, dude. And then she's wondering, like, hold on, let me go back to when we met. Hold on.
She's on the beard struggle, looking at all the guys in their beards, like, yeah, look at this one here.
Okay.
There you go. Don't
Got
shave. Don't shave.
this soup sandwich over here.
All right, brother. So we're gonna take you out of the stories, and we're gonna play a little game. I don't know. Were you able to catch the last podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So we hit our brother Nick with some words. Now, this is kind of like unfiltered brain cloud game. So basically, we're gonna throw some words at you, and we want the first thing that pops to mind. And then we'll see if we need to talk about it or not. Sound good?
Right on. Let's do it.
All right, man. So I'm gonna let DK take the first question there. We're gonna throw 1-1-1-1 here.
Yeah. So I'm
It's
gonna
hot in here, man.
Your first word is happy.
Happy, my Harley. Wind therapy, man.
All right.
Yes,
Wind
sir.
therapy.
Wind therapy, love it. All right, I got one. Duty.
Being a police officer.
Okay.
Duty of doing what you need to do for your community, but
Right.
yeah, would be mine. Duty and police officer.
Right on, brother.
All right. Next one, strong.
My mom. That is a goddamn first thing. I'll tell you what, man. That woman has went through things in her life, and I'll tell you what, she's a rock solid woman. She survived breast cancer, and
Wow.
strong should have her picture in the dictionary. That woman is, like I said, an Italian woman. She's strong.
Well, you told us she has a grip too, so
yeah, vice grip.
All right, so this one kind of you crossed over when you said happy. You kind of took one of my words there, so I want to see what pops in your mind now when I say motorcycle.
Sturgis. How's that?
Sturgis. Fuck, man, I need to go there.
Yeah. I already threw the Harley out there, so you know what? Motorcycle. Go to Sturgis.
Yeah.
Straight Sturgis. All right. So sloppy.
What was the word?
Sloppy.
Sloppy? My gut, man. This coronavirus. I'm telling you, man. Whew, this bear has hibernated.
Yeah.
That's funny, dude.
I ate way too much during all this, so now that the gyms are back open, I got to get back at it.
Yeah.
I think it hit me the complete opposite, man. I think I've worked out more in this 2 months than the past 2 years.
I'll tell you what, my face has been buried in every flavor of Ben and Jerry's you can think of. So,
Oh my God.
I'm an ice cream junkie, and yeah, this shit just killed it.
I know. Now I'm gonna have to go get some. So I got my next word here. Family.
Everything.
Everything. Okay.
Family is everything, man. I'll tell you, some of them people that don't realize that, I feel bad for you.
Right on, bro. Right on.
No, absolutely. All right. Well, you just kind of talked about it a little bit, but dinner.
A steak.
All right.
I want one of them fucking brontosaurus steaks that Mitch is eating.
Yeah, the freaking, I don't know, bigger than his whole chest. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like the 96 ouncer from the Great Outdoors movie.
I mean, dude, you
Jesus.
kind of need that when you're that size, right?
God, man.
That guy needs a lot of fuel.
Yeah.
I don't know if you see. I call him the Mountain 2 from Game of Thrones. He's the mountain.
Yeah, yes, he totally is. Absolutely, yeah.
fuck the Hound. We got the Mountain 2 over here.
Yeah, we got Mitch.
Yeah.
All right, I got the next one. Stress.
I'll tell you what. 20 buddy.
Isn't that nuts?
And I've been lucky. I've been able to continue working, but God damn, if there is not something on every corner of this bitch.
It's ridiculous. And I was telling you, remember when we were doing the little sound test before? I was telling you were not there, DK, but I was telling a story to Kyle that they found. Apparently, I read a little piece of news the other day, and it's the internet, so I don't know if it's true or not. I don't care. It was just funny. It looked like this article that said that they found this cave that had been sealed for about 5 million years or some shit like that. And they found 35 species in there that did not have any contact with the rest of the world for those 5 million years, and they wanted to go in there and investigate those 35 new species or some crap like that. And the first comment in the bottom said, bro, 2020 is not the year for that shit. Seal that up and leave it for next year.
Like, no, don't do it.
This is not the year for that, man. Too much
That's
stress
I told him it's going to be like that movie with Matthew McConaughey when the dragons come up over in the UK. They come up out of that tunnel that they bust and they just decimate the earth.
Yeah, I don't think that would happen, man. You would have Mitch hunting down those bastards and eating them.
Chasing them with his spatula.
Yeah, just eating them all. No dragons
Love
in
you,
the
buddy.
UK.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
All right. I've got my last word, and it's pain.
Pain?
Pain.
Oh, man. Pain? Jeez, there's a lot I could do with that one, but how about pain in my ass?
Ooh, okay. Story time.
Politics. I am so fucking over politics already right now this year. It is pain in my ass.
True
All
that,
of
man.
ours.
Fuck.
True that. Well, I'm going to throw a little curveball at you here. Aging.
You know what? It's right there, man.
Nice.
This October, I turn 50, and this thing here is aging. Right there, buddy. I am still young and adventurous and want to live life to the fullest. And I did learn that from my parents, thank God. Until they put me in the grave, I'm going to live life, man.
Fucking love it, man. That's the way to
like
go.
Like they say,
yes, sir.
It's just a number, man. It's just a number.
Nice. Love it, man. Dude, honestly, it has been awesome for us to have you here. We're doing the first time that we're doing video. So this is kind of like new for us as well. This is sort of our new first episode. And there's a lot of things that are different when you're doing video. Like right now, dude, I am so freaking warm. It is ridiculous right now, and I can't just. I have to wear pants. It's not the same. It's not the same, dude. But honestly, it has been amazing to spend some time with you.
This has been great. I'm glad we could finally get together and get it done. And I've really enjoyed all the other shows. And
yeah, no, I loved having you on here, and this whole experience right here, actually getting to see the face of the person we're talking to, gives a whole different feel. And man, I loved having you on here and getting to learn more stuff about you. It was awesome.
Absolutely, man.
And this has been fun.
I got a lesson that I'm learning from this is I'm gonna need to get the pro version of Zoom because I got the sign again over here. So it's just nuts. But
I should have warned you. I'm long-winded. Should have like a little light that flashes like "Shut up, shut up."
No, dude, it's been awesome, and we really appreciate everybody that's on the other side right now. It's taking an hour of your time to spend with us. We really, really appreciate it. We appreciate you, Kyle, for being here on the show. And honestly, we hope to keep this going, man, because it's been great to get to know you guys, the stories that's behind you. And the surprises that we get, man. We don't know shit about you guys until you're here and we get to ask this question. So we're very
I love it.
thankful.
I think this will take your show to another level too. Like you said, people can actually see who's being interviewed, and I think you guys are on something really good here.
Appreciate you,
No.
brother.
Sweet.
All right, you guys, I'm gonna cut this off before Zoom wants to charge me again. I think I might need to give him my money, but appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody over there listening and watching us right now, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace
Right
out.
on, guys.
Have a good one, guys.